is nothing like the feeling you get when you first enter Bristol Motor Speedway.
When you walk across the racetrack, when they open the gates on, Friday morning most of the time, and you look around and you take it all in, you go, holy cow, this place is just, better words for it than badass.
And drivers say there is nothing like winning here.
Bristol's it's Bristol. It's just such a legendary racetrack, and it's so exciting. I mean, it's so intense. Wins there are just really special.
This place is not for the faint of heart.
The way that I've had success there in the past is to respect the track, but at the same time know when you have to attack.
And it can make even the biggest name drivers feel small.
The first time you walk into that place and you see those how highly banked the turns are, it's intimidating.
When this thing gets rolling, it's not a race.
It's Bristol, baby.
Bristol International Speedway invites you to the first annual Volunteer 500.
Yes, there is only one Bristol Motor Speedway, and we are here live. It's Bristol, baby. I'm P.J. Johnson, along with Sports Director Casey Getz and Heather Williams. Heather, if today's last 4 laps of that Xfinity race say anything, oh, my goodness, we're in for a well of a race tomorrow.
Yes, and we're also in for a show from Joe Gibbs Racing.
Everything about this place has been big, and with 2016, it's even bigger with the college football's largest game ever coming here in just a few months. So it's only fitting that Bristol's next big toy, Colossus, and it is definitely living up to its name. The world's largest center-hung 4-sided screen takes BMS to a whole different level. So if you see people, including the drivers, looking up, you know why.
I really like the big TVs. Sometimes I get caught looking at them, so I'm glad that it's put on the left side where I can't see it.
Each screen on Colossus is 63 feet wide and 3 stories tall. The total weight is nearly 700 tons.
That thing's scary. Hopefully it don't come off the cable.
Now, there's also a new lower downforce package in NASCAR. Basically, it's a change in the aerodynamics. So how is that going to play into a track like Bristol? We asked a few folks.
It's not going to be nearly as big as, say, Atlanta was, or, Vegas.
Slower tracks we go to, the less the aero package makes a difference, but I think it'll help. I think the racing's always good at Bristol.
I am actually inside the track with Casey Mears, the driver of the number 13 Geico Chevrolet. And Casey, I want to start with the new aero package. A lot of has been made about the aero package and how it might affect the cars. You've been to Martinsville. How do you think the package will affect the cars here at Bristol?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much of it's the aero package or just the time of year, the tire. It always changes a lot, but it seems like, we've been fighting really loose since we've been here. But we also have a brand new front clip that we had versus last year that RCR's developed, so it's hard to really determine exactly what the reason is.
I love driving up the ramp and making that left-hand turn on top of the tire building there. It's a special win, and that's something I have to do again very soon.
Smith has not lost his edge or his command of an interview. Bruton Smith grew up on a farm where he learned all about the 3 C's: cotton, cattle, and cars. One of the richest men in America, Bruton's accomplishments are lengthy and impressive. Inducted into the North Carolina Business Hall of Fame in 2006, that same year he joined the NMPA Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame, and the next year he was inducted into the International Motorsports Hall of Fame. And finally, in 2016, he became a member of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Where does the Battle of Bristol rank on Bruton Smith's all-time accomplishments?
This will be the biggest event that we have ever done, or ever attempted to do.
And speaking of Bruton Smith, as you mentioned, he's owned Bristol Motor Speedway now for 20 years. And just to see how much Bristol has changed since he's taken over ownership of the track, Heather Williams caught up with 2 racing icons with ties to the area to get their take on how much Bristol has changed.
Before it was the last great Coliseum. Before Colossus towered above. Before it was Bristol, baby. It was just Bristol.
When I started racing there were grandstands on the front straightaway, and they were concrete slabs that were into the dirt bank.
There's something about the Tri-City area, Bristol, Johnson City, Kingsport, Washington County on both sides, Sullivan County, that draws and is so hospitable.
Physically, it's very challenging because of how fast, how small it is, and how many laps you run. So it's a really tough challenge, and I love that about Bristol.
I wanted to know how they got it done, so I went behind the scenes at the Performance Racing Network. The broadcast seems like it is part ballet.
Let's go back down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Wendy Venturini.
And part stampede.
Carl Edwards is in the wall. He's hammered by Kurt Busch off the back straightaway.
You just kind of develop verbal choreography.
Oftentimes, 9 people that will be on the air. 4 pit reporters, a turn announcer. We only have 1 turn announcer at Bristol. Most tracks we have 2 or 3 people in the booth. That's just the announcers. It's a big production.
This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Does Colossus play into this at all? Like, if you were leading the race, could you look up and see if anybody was close behind you?
At Bristol, if I've got enough time to look up and watch a TV, I'm not doing my job on the racetrack. Something's not going good. So as cool as Colossus is, and I know for the fans out there, it's a lot of fun to watch that thing. We don't need to be watching it in the race cars.
There's grandstands all the way around there, and you fill them with people, so obviously the environment is different than other tracks, but really the track is just so intense. It's so incredibly fast. There's just very little room for error.
He's, I'm sure he's mad the way he lost today, and then the way those Joe Gibbs racing cars have been so strong, and he is so strong in that second practice. I think Kyle Busch definitely the favorite going into tomorrow's race.
I'm going to go with Joey Logano.
Joey Logano, Joey last year led every lap, or last August led every lap in the
Xfinity race. Yeah.
I'm with Jeff. I think Busch would have won today if his car didn't go away. So I think he's going to win tomorrow. How about you, Heather?
I'm also going to go with Joe Gibbs Racing, but I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin. He looked really strong in final practice today.
It's Bristol, baby. Good night, everybody.